Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Sunil. I am your instructor for Devops with AWS training course. Can you hear me? Please confirm.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear your voice.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Rahul. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ramesh. Hi, Akanksha. Hello, Balaram.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you, Balaram. Pedretti, can you hear me? I think you have to connect to audio. Ready? Please connect to audio. Chetan, thank you for joining. Can you hear me? Please confirm. By default, you will be on mute. Yes. Chetan.
Yes.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Kiran, welcome to the session. Can you hear me? Please unmute. Rahul, welcome. Ramesh, Sai, Syed, welcome to the session. Okay. Before starting the DevOps with AWS course, I want to have a quick introduction to myself. Okay. And then I want the introduction from your side, mainly your previous experience. Once we complete the introduction part, then we'll move into the demo session. Okay. So I have total 10 years of experience in IT industry, out of which first 3 years of experience I worked on Oracle applications platform. As a technical consultant, I worked in Oracle applications platform. Later, I have shifted my technology from Oracle apps to DevOps and AWS. So total 7 years of experience I'm having in DevOps and AWS, and 3 years of experience I'm having in Oracle applications platform. So this is quick experience about myself, and I'm doing online training for more than 5 years. This is about quick introduction to myself. I need your background, your experience, and the reason why you're planning to take up this DevOps course. So starting with the Akash.
Yeah, hello, sir. Yeah, I just want to see what it is. I'm just curious, what DevOps is with the Amazon Web Service.
Okay. So your previous experience?
No, sir. Just
You have no
joining the
experience.
demo to see how it is.
Okay. You're from which location?
I'm from the US.
US. Okay. So have you completed MS?
No, I'm still undergrad.
Okay. Okay. So you want to have exposure towards DevOps and AWS. That's the reason you're interested to learn this.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
DevOps and AWS is doing very good in the current market. Okay, you have a lot many number of opportunities, especially once you complete MS. Okay, once you get into OPT, so definitely you will have more number of calls if you choose this technology, because it's one of the most on-demand technology right now, the latest technology right now. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Akansh.
Okay.
Thank you for
Yep.
joining. Balram, your introduction, please.
Hi. So I started as a developer, and now I'm leading few development projects. And I'm interested to learn DevOps because it's relatively new.
Okay. Which technology you are in currently?
This is more with Java.
Okay. So I thank you for your feedback. You already have attended recordings of my AWS training. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct, sir. So due to being in a different time zone, I wasn't able to attend all your classes live. So even with this session, I doubt if I could attend because it's very late here. But your recording sessions are very helpful. So thank you.
Thank you, Balram. So even though you may not attend the live, but you can go through the videos, okay, and get knowledge transfer.
Absolutely. And I will get your email ID as well so that I can communicate if I need.
Contact me in case of any queries.
Yes, queries or notes or something like that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Balram. Pedretti, can I have your introduction, please? You are on mute. Ready? So you need to unmute.
Sorry, sir. Sorry,
Thank you.
sir. I have no experience in IT sector, sir. I am freshly entering IT sector.
Okay.
Hello.
What is your qualification?
BTech Civil Engineer, sir.
When did you completed it? Passed out?
2016, sir.
Okay. 2016. Now you want to get into IT industry. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So have you learned any technologies before? Is it the first course which you're learning,
No, sir.
or do you know
No,
any other courses?
no, sir. This is first course.
First course. So you need to put a lot of effort. Ready? Okay. You're
Yes,
from
sir.
which city? You are currently from which location?
Anantapur, sir.
Ahmedabad. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Reddy.
Okay. Yes.
Chetan.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Thank you, Chetan. Thank you for joining.
I have 3 years experience in Linux. Currently, I'm working on Linux, and I I have 1.5 year experience in support engineer.
Okay. Linux
Uh,
administration.
yeah, Linux administration, and now I have to improve myself for further. That's
Okay.
why
So you mean to say you're in the operations side? Okay. So it's good,
right.
Chetan. So
Yeah.
DevOps is a good technology for both development team as well as operations team. As you're in the operations team, you can easily relate what is actually happening, and then if you add this skill set in your resume, it will add value. Okay. I hope
Yes.
I hope definitely you will enjoy this training. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Dheeraj, can I have your Chetan? You're from which city? Which location?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Dheeraj. By default, you'll be on mute. You need to unmute and talk, Dheeraj. Cannot hear you. Kiran, man, can I have your introduction? Okay, Kiran, no problem. You have some mic settings. Okay, so make sure from next session you will have a working mic so that the session gets interactive. Anytime you can talk to me if you have a doubt. Okay, Kiran, thank you. Rahul.
Hello.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, actually, I also worked as a Linux administrator in Cognizant for one and a
Okay.
half year.
Okay.
I thought let's explore any other opportunities.
In IT, I guess
As
infrastructure support.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. You're from which city?
Hyderabad.
Okay. You have joined as a fresher in Cognizant?
Yeah.
Through I think they're through two vendors for Cognizant. One is Nityo IT who provides training and then later joining.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Vedicsoft.
Vedicsoft. These
Yeah,
two are the vendors for
vendors.
Cognizant. Am I right, Rahul? You are through
Yes.
Vedicsoft or Nityo IT?
Vedicsoft.
Vedicsoft. Okay. I trained for Cognizant. Okay. So on DevOps, I have provided corporate training. Okay. I also provide training for Nityo IT also. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Rahul.
Okay.
Ramesh, can I have your introduction? Rahul, please be on mute.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, Ramesh.
Yeah, hi. So I'm current location is Melbourne. So I have like 5.5 years of experience in software development. So initially, I was an Android developer. I was published multiple apps in Play Store, like in 2 3 years, like 2 years complete development. And I was backend. So I was learning the REST services and also I started working on Spring Boot and my Android like one. Then after that, I completely moved to backend. So currently, I'm working as Spring Boot and microservice developer. So
Okay.
and yeah, I was interested to learn AWS because everything will move into cloud. So I was
Okay.
interested to learn the cloud.
Okay. 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 This is not AWS, Ramesh. This is DevOps. Okay. The training
Yeah.
focuses on the DevOps tools on AWS platform. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ramesh. Sai.
Yeah, hi, Sunil. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Please tell me.
Yeah, myself, my name is Sai Teja. I have 2 years of experience in Salesforce admin and development.
Very good.
Presently, I'm
Okay.
working with Accenture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm facing little difficult to writing a code and customization. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving to non-coding part. So
That
I'm
is
interested
DevOps.
to learn DevOps. It is
Okay.
good for me, or is a good opportunity for this, or
It's
you
not an
suggested me?
opportunity. You want a technology which has no much involvement in coding, isn't it? That's what your
Yes,
plan.
yes.
Yeah, DevOps, as you know, it's a tools. It's a set of tools. There is less coding.
No,
Okay, you
no.
need to do
I'm interested
configuration.
to move to totally on tools operations side. I'm little bit facing a difficult to writing the code.
Okay, okay. In DevOps, you are right. You don't need to write the code, but you need to write a lot of commands to do it. Okay, Sai.
Yeah, is it fine? Is it
So
okay?
fine, commands are okay, right? So it's
Yeah,
good. I mean,
commands is okay.
you can go to operations team. You can go to development team. Okay, depending upon the skill sets which you mentioned in your resume. Okay, right?
Okay. Yes.
So it's good, and the DevOps is also doing good in the market. Okay, so it's good to learn this latest technologies.
Yeah, present
Thank
current
you.
situation in market and with DevOps, how it is? It is having more
Yes,
opportunity.
DevOps is having more opportunities in combination with one cloud platform. In
Okay,
combination with one
any
cloud platform, either AWS or Azure or GCP. Hmm? So when
okay.
you mention the combination, then only you'll start receiving the cloud, because most of the clients who are on DevOps, who move to DevOps, definitely their infrastructure is on cloud.
Yes, yes.
So definitely one cloud platform, if you know the basics of cloud platform, that's more than enough. Okay.
Okay. For job opportunities, you want experience more than 3 or 4 years
Not required.
outside?
2.5 to 3 years of experience will help you to get the calls. Okay.
Okay.
So total, how many years of experience you're having, Sai?
I have 3 years totally.
So total 3 years of experience, right? So as you have only
Yes.
3 years of experience, the complete 3 years of experience, you are from Salesforce, right? Do not mention Salesforce.
Okay.
It has DevOps experience. Okay, so how to prepare the projects, what kind of roles and responsibilities we need to put in resume. I'll guide you.
Okay, you are helpful for this, for putting the projects and demo
Yes, I'll
projects
share
or
you the sample resumes, what kind of projects needs to be played, what will be the roles and responsibilities, what will be
how
the
to crack
frequently
the
asked
interviews
questions.
and
Yes,
everything.
we'll be discussing that.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for
Thank
this.
you, Sai. Yeah, welcome. Syed. Okay, so Syed, you also have issue with some mic. So tomorrow, please fix that audio problem so that we can have a more interactive session. Okay. So thank you for your time providing introduction. Okay. So let's try to understand this. The objective of this session is to understand what is DevOps. What is DevOps? Now, why DevOps is hot, very good in the current market with respect to job prospect. How DevOps helps the clients with respect to automation. So all these, especially if you are completely new to DevOps, in this particular session will help you to have a broader exposure what DevOps can do in the IT industry. Okay, so let's proceed. And every session is recorded. Like I would just want to confirm you, even this session is recorded, and after the session you get a link from the management where you can download the recordings. Okay, yes, let's proceed. Okay, so I have a question. Balaram, do you know anything about DevOps? If you heard about DevOps, if you know anything about DevOps, can you give us what do you mean by DevOps from your perspective?
So as far as I know, it's to make the development and operations team work
Mhm,
together and
mhm.
make the development processes easier rather than having separate teams.
Yes, you're right. You're right, DevOps. So let's try to understand what you mean by DevOps. Before understanding about what you mean by DevOps, I want to have a quick discussion about SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Many are developers here, so I hope they have experienced this concept of SDLC. Before starting DevOps, I just want to have a quick discussion about SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle, on a high level. Let's say, assume that you have a client. Please, Pedretti, please mute your microphone. Thank you. Look at a scenario, a standard scenario. Let's say you have a client, assuming a client is nothing but HSBC Bank. Client is a HSBC Bank. The client is looking for internet banking application. We all know every bank provides an internet banking application where we can connect and then perform a lot of transactions and perform there are a lot of operations. So client bank is looking for internet banking application. So what the clients will do, they approach companies like Infosys. Am I right? Wipro, whatever it is. They approach IT companies, isn't it? Approach IT companies and they give the requirements. Agree? Client gives the requirements
Yes.
to IT company. Company will take some time, and then according to the requirements, develop the software and give it to the client, and the client start using that particular software. Typically, this is how every case happens. Client gives the requirements to IT industries. IT industry takes the requirement and deliver the project to the client. When companies like Infosys takes the requirement, they need to follow some process in the development of a particular software. In an ad hoc way, they should not do it. They need to follow some processes, step-by-step guidelines, which they need to follow in the process of developing a project or a product. That step-by-step process which is used, a streamlined process which is used to develop a particular project or product is called as SDLC, software development. By looking at the name, you can easily understand software development lifecycle. So what is SDLC? SDLC is nothing but a step-by-step process. That process we need to follow. We, in the sense, IT companies needs to follow when they're delivering a project to the client. And there are many models. There are different models using which you can develop SDLC. So waterfall model is there. You can develop projects using waterfall model. You can develop the project using agile model. You can develop the project using spiral model. You can develop the project using V model. There are different models or methodologies using which you can develop particular software. Out of all these models which are available, the popular models are waterfall model and agile model. There are a lot of models. There are different methodologies using which you can develop a project and deliver the project to the client. There are different models. Out of all these models, the popular models are waterfall model and agile model. First, I want to discuss about waterfall model, the oldest model. The oldest model is called as a waterfall model. Waterfall model is suffering with some disadvantages, and that disadvantages has overcome in the agile model. So most popular model currently every IT industry is following is the agile model. Before going ahead with agile model, I want to have a quick discussion about waterfall model. We will be discussing about the disadvantages of the waterfall model, and then we'll be discussing about agile models. Once we complete this SDLC model part, then we'll understand how exactly DevOps plays a role in SDLC. What is the importance? How exactly DevOps plays the role in the software development lifecycle? Okay. Any queries? You're welcome. You can unmute. You can stop me. You can ask me your queries. Okay. You can interrupt me. Anybody. You can stop me and you can ask me your queries. So to start with, I'm discussing about waterfall model. Waterfall model is the oldest model, a traditional model. Many companies have used this waterfall model successfully in delivering projects. So right now, waterfall model is not used. It's a bit outdated. So before that, we'll discuss about the waterfall model. Okay. This is how a waterfall model looks like. In the waterfall model, the first step is gathering the requirements. Not only waterfall model, any model. Not only waterfall model, any model. The first step is gathering the requirements. So client, there will be regular meetings between the client and the IT industry. They take the requirements clear. And the most important part is the requirements part. Because if requirement and if understanding the requirements is wrong, we finally end up giving a wrong product. Am I right, Rahul? The most important phase is the requirements phase. There will be regular interactions between the client and the IT industry, and they take the complete requirements for a particular project. Once the requirements is done, once the requirement team completes the requirements phase, then the analysis team comes into picture. After taking the requirements, the analysis team will do analysis. What kind of analysis? They decide the technology components. They decide the technology components. What do you mean by technology components? Which language we should use? Which technology should we develop using Java? Should we develop using .NET? The coming to our example, that is called internet banking. You can develop using web technologies like Java. You can develop using .NET. You can develop using Python. So which technology they should use it? Technology components will be decided in the analysis phase. Not only the technology, which database they should use. Should we use Oracle database? Should we use SQL Server database? Should we use MySQL database? Should we use Amazon Aurora? What database they should use? Database part. Not only that. Which server they should use? Should we use WebLogic? Should we use WebSphere? Should we use Tomcat? You need to deploy the application to server. So these kind of application servers, which application server we should use. So these kind of technology parts will be decided in what stage? Analysis stage. I hope it is very clear. First step is requirement gathering, and in analysis stage, they clarify the technology part. Once the technology components are freezed, then comes the design phase. In the design phase, the complete project is divided into modules. I hope it is very clear, Dinesh. The complete project is divided into modules. For example, in our case, coming to a client called HSBC, savings account, there will be one module. Current account, there will be one module. Corporate banking, we have one module. Business tax, GST, one module. Loans, one module. So the complete project is divided into modules. In every module, they design that they draw the flow charts. How exactly the workflows should happen. What will be the user interface? How should we design the workflows? And according to that, the coding team will start developing the code. So design stage is all about breaking up the project into modules and drawing the data flow diagrams and the workflows. That's called design. After the design, the coding comes the role of a programmer. Programmer will take the design documents. According to the design document, they start developing the code. That's the coding is completed. Then testing team comes into picture. Testing team will test whether the code is correctly working or not for all different test cases with all different inputs. Assuming testing is passed, Chetan, we deliver the project to the client. Am I right? Simple, straightforward process of developing a process. Am I right, Chetan? Is this clear about the waterfall
Yes, sir.
model?
Yeah.
Now, tell me the disadvantages. What do you think in this waterfall model?
There are many disadvantages. Like if there is some, let's say if the requirement is we understood missed wrongly, otherwise
Okay.
something needs to be enhanced.
Is it Ramesh?
So you need to wait for. Yeah, I'm Ramesh.
Yes, Ramesh. Yeah, proceed.
So if there for any particular small change, also you need to wait for years to take that change in the production, and you need to depend on the each team. So you should not able to design until analysis is done, and you should not able to code until design is done.
One
So
stage,
there is a
exactly
dependency
right,
in each one.
Ramesh. Yes, there's a dependency between stages. Try to understand. One team is dependent on its previous team to complete the job. Please mute. Thank you. In this waterfall model, Balram, one team is dependent on its previous team to complete the task. There's a dependency between one resource to other resource. There's a dependency between one resource to other resource. I'll give a simple example. When the testing team will start testing team will start testing only after completing the coding phase. Am I right, Balram? Testing team will wait for the coding stage to get completed. There's a project manager has given an estimate that it needs a 6 months time to complete the coding part. 6 months time to complete the coding part. So testing team, let's say you have a group of 10 testers. 10 testers should wait for how much months? 6 months. Because testing should start only after completing the coding phase. That's how the waterfall model is designed. One resource will wait for the other resource to complete their job. Design team will wait for the analysis team to complete the technology components part. Coding team will wait for the design team to give the module breakup and the workflows. So as one resource will be waiting for the other resource to complete their job, as one resource will wait for the other resource to complete their job, the waterfall model will be a delayed process. There's a delay in the waterfall, there's a delay in the software development project. It takes years together. Let's say if you give the client gives the requirements now, you will get the project maybe in 2 years. That's how the waterfall model, dependency. Okay, that's first disadvantage. There's a delay. Second disadvantage, waterfall model does not encourage the clients to give new requirements. Waterfall model does not encourage the clients to give the requirements. Let's say today they have taken the requirements from the client. They freeze the requirement. IT companies will freeze the requirement. They will not encourage the clients to give new requirements because existing, based on the requirements, they analyze, they design, they code, and then meanwhile, maybe after 2 months, if the client gives a new requirements, no, they will not take it. It is not suitable for clients who are changing the requirements frequently, giving a new requirements. Once they deliver the project, maybe once the project is delivered, then they start again version 2 of the project. These are the two main disadvantages because of which currently waterfall model is not much used. One is time taking, delay in the software development process. Requirements is freezed. It does not encourage clients to give the new requirements. But the current industry is in such a way the clients are not ready to wait for years together to deliver the project. Current industry right now, the industry is such a dynamic way. Client gives the requirements today and they want the project to be delivered in just 2 months. Right? The current industry is such a dynamic scenario where the client gives the requirements now and they want the project to be delivered in just 2 months. At such a faster rate, the clients are expecting the projects to be delivered. And changes are dynamic. You cannot say customer not to give changes because customer is God, isn't it? They are welcome to give the changes and we should adapt the changes and then integrate the changes and deliver it the project. Whereas the waterfall model fails to do that. These are the two disadvantages because of which waterfall model is not used currently in the IT industry. No, not at all. No company is using waterfall model now. What is the alternative to waterfall model? We have other models like agile model, spiral model, V model, as I told you, but the most popular model currently is agile model. The popular model, the most successful model, Ramesh, is agile model right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how exactly agile model works with respect to waterfall model? Let's have a continuation. Disadvantages of the waterfall model. It is difficult to estimate the time. Obviously, when time is difficult to estimate, you cannot estimate the project cost. Budget also increases, isn't it? When time increases, the cost of the project increases in the development process. Once an application is in testing stage, it is very difficult to go back and change something. Changing is not at all welcomed. It is difficult to make changes. Not good for complex and object-oriented projects. Not suitable for projects where the requirements are moderate to high risk of changing. When clients are changing the requirements, waterfall model does not suit to that particular client. Right now, the business is very dynamic. Clients are regularly changing the requirements. So we cannot satisfy the clients when you use waterfall model. That's the reason the industry has shifted to next model. The most popular model currently is agile model. Now, how agile model helps the clients and how it overcomes the problem with the problems which are there in the waterfall model. Let's have a discussion. Agile model is also called as incremental model. Look at the term incremental model. The software is developed in incremented and rapid cycles. Incremental model, it is developed in cycles. This results in small incremental releases, which each release building on its previous functionality. Every release, each release is thoroughly tested and ensure the quality is maintained. It is called as incremental model. Look at the terms. Agile model emphasizes on iterative, incremental, evolutionary development. What do you mean by iterative? What do you mean by software is developed in rapid cycles? How does this helps the clients? Let's try to understand with an example. Let's try to understand with an example. Let's say this is an ICICI bank. They need an internet banking application, something like this. They need an internet banking like this. Chetan, look at the modules. They have personal banking requirement, privilege banking, wealth banking, private banking, NRI banking, business banking, small and medium scale enterprise banking, corporate banking. So these are the modules. This is what the client requirement is. Okay. Now, how
Yes,
exactly
sir.
agile model handle this? How exactly agile model handles this? I give a comparative analysis with waterfall model. Try to understand. In case of waterfall model, Balram, the first stage is requirements phase. Is it Balram? In case of waterfall, am I right? The first stage is requirements. In
Yes.
case
So
of
each
waterfall
phase
model,
is,
Balram, what they take the requirement? They take the requirements of personal banking. They take the requirements of privilege banking. They take the requirements of third module, fourth module, fifth module, sixth module, seventh module, eighth module. Balram, they take the requirements of all the modules at once from all the departments. This is in
uh,
which model, Balram? Waterfall model.
in waterfall, everything is going to be in sequence, whereas in
Sequence and
agile,
at once.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, proceed.
Yeah, whereas in Agile, while we are in the process of developing the second module, we can be gathering requirements for the third module. So
Exactly, you are right. That's how you can remove the dependency between one resource to other resource.
yes,
In case of agile model, especially who are new, try to understand how agile model works. In case of agile model takes the requirements of personal banking only, not all the modules. If there are 10 modules, agile module will not take the requirements of 10 modules, they take the requirements of one module only. As it is only one module, it can take the requirements very quickly. It will not take much time because only one module. And then analysis, okay, they decide the technology components and design team comes into picture and they start designing the personal banking. The moment design team is start take the requirement designing the personal banking, the requirements team will be working on the privilege banking. So you are making both the teams busy. Requirements team busy with privilege banking, design team busy with personal banking designing. Let's say requirement is done for the privilege banking, requirements takes the wealth banking requirements. Design team will design the privilege banking requirements. Coding team will start coding for personal banking. You're parallelly making all the teams busy. Are you understanding? You're not teams are not waiting for the complete all the project. So after you can see a few cycles. So look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. NRI banking requirements team will take the requirements of NRI banking. Design team will be designing the private banking. Coding team will be coding on the wealth banking. Testing team will be testing on the privilege banking. And we'll be releasing the personal banking to the client. At least client is happy. One module is released to the end users. Are you understanding? That's how agile model is creates a lot of advantage with respect to time at which you can develop the projects. I hope it is very clear how exactly agile model helps on a high level. Every team is busy with their specific module. And client, when they changes the requirements, yes, when they change the requirements, they take the requirements and again it's a one more cycle. So in case of waterfall model, if it is taking 2 years of time, when you go with agile model, you can develop just in 8 months, maybe 6 to 8 months. More than 50%, you can speed up the delivery when you use agile model. Because of this advantage, when you can deliver the project at faster rate, obviously the cost of the project gets decreased. Clients are happy because they're getting the project at early time. Because of this, agile model is highly successful. This is how the agile model looks like. Now, okay, so you have understood how exactly software is developed. Now, on a quick comparative analysis, if waterfall model is taking 2 years of time, agile you can develop the same project with same quality, with same features, maybe let's assume 8 months. Am I right? But the current industry, clients are not even ready to wait for 8 months. Clients are not even ready to wait for 8 months. They want the project to be delivered in just 2 or 3 months. Such a faster rate, clients are expecting the projects to be delivered. So, when compared to waterfall model, it is speed. But in current industry, even the speed is not enough. We need much more better way, a much more faster way of developing the projects. So, still there is a delay. Even 8 months is called as a delay. So, in spite of the model, whether you are using agile model, spiral model, V model, but still there is a delay in the software development process. So 50 companies has formed an association. Shinsen, Ramesh, 50 companies has formed an association, has done a research work for 5 years, just to understand the reason for the delay in the software development process. No matter any model you are using, you use agile model also, still there is a delay. 8 months is a delay. They have done a research work for a period of 5 years just to understand what could be the reason for the delay in the software development process. And then, after doing some research work for a period of 5 years, they came up with one single line. The reason for the delay is because of gap between development team and operations team. That is the statement. After doing 5 years of research work, the delay in the software development process, no matter whatever the model you follow, there is a delay because there is a gap. There is differences between development team and operations team. This is causing the delay in the software development lifecycle. What do you mean by gap between development team and operations team? Let's try to understand. What do you mean by development team? You can easily visualize what do you mean by development team. Development team is nothing but a group of developers. As simple as that. Am I right, Kiran? Development team is nothing but a group of developers. A Java project, group of Java developers is development team. If it is a Python project, group of Python developers is nothing but the development team. It's very easy to understand what do you mean by development team. What do you mean by operations team? What are the day-to-day responsibilities? What do they do actually? What will be the responsibilities of operations team? Let's try to understand. Once you know clarity about operations team, then we'll understand the gap between what do you mean. Once you know what is development team, it's pretty easy. You can visualize. Let's try to understand operations team, and then we'll understand what do you mean by gap between development team and operations team. What do you mean by operations team? What do you mean by operations team? Yes.
Maybe so. Yeah. Sorry. So when we are developing some, let's say if it is Java application or any kind of technology users, so you might depend on for some things on the other things. So basically, you call as
Exactly.
integration or anything. So like
Okay.
your environment setup or your stability of environment and other required softwares to be installed or caches of servers or all the things should be ready. So those are all called as integration or
Operations.
operation.
Perfect. Perfect. What do you mean by operations? To simplify the concept of operation. Akansh, are you understanding? Are you following what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm following.
Can you guess what do you mean by operations team? Have you heard about this? If yes, what do you know about
Well, when I looked online, like all it said about DevOps are like it's a person that connects both the development team and the operations team,
this? My
and
question
that's
is,
all.
what is
Like,
operation? My question is not what is DevOps. What is operations?
uh,
What could be the responsibilities of operations?
I'm not really sure.
Not sure. Okay.
Not sure. Sorry.
Akansh, visualize a software company, a small software company of
Okay.
100 employees.
Okay.
Akansh, visualize a
Yeah.
small company. You have small companies, right? Not very big.
Yeah. Yeah.
When IT companies are also very small. Assuming visualize a software companies of 100 employees. Akansh, in a software company of 100 employees, do you think all the 100 employees are developers?
No, sir.
Right from first employee to last employee, everyone is a developer. Do you think? No.
No, sir. No.
Don't think that every person who is going to IT industry,
Okay.
every employee is working in IT industry is a developer. No,
Okay.
they have some people is have, especially beginners, will have a wrong understanding.
Okay.
Everybody who goes into IT industry, don't think everyone is a developer. No, there are people who are non-developers also.
Okay.
Okay, so if you visualize a software small company of 100 employees, don't think that every employee is a developer. Maybe okay, 50% are developers.
Mhm.
50 people, 50 resources are developers. There are other 50 resources who are not developers, but they are very important. Without them, the project will not run.
Okay.
The other set of people who are not developers, they are but very critical. They are very important. Without them, the project cannot progress. Those people
Okay.
who are not developers, but they are important in the project, they are directly involved in the project, are called as operations team.
Okay.
So what could be the responsibilities of an operations team? Try to understand. Installing server hardware and operating system. A developer needs an operating system, a Linux operating system. Do you think a Java developer will connect to the bare metal server and they install a Linux operating system? Do you think the installation of operating system is the responsibility of a developer? No.
No. No.
If not developer, who should do it? Operations team should do it. There should be
Okay.
one person who will be doing it. Definitely
Okay.
developers will not do. So the non-developers team will do it. That's called as operations team.
Okay.
I hope now it is very clear.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Yes. Configuring servers. In a project, minimum we need to have 3 missions, right? Development mission, testing mission, production instance. Configuring, taking regular backups, applying patches, network, storage, dealing with ports, dealing with security, dealing with firewalls. Do you think these are done by the developers? No, not at all. That's not at all done by the developers. But there should be one person who is some team who will be doing that. That is the operations team. Monitoring the
Okay.
servers 24/7. If a server is down, do you think development team will respond? No, development team is very happy. They send an email saying that server is down, please resolve it. They send an email to which team? Operations team. If development server is down, who will fix that? Development team will not fix it. Development team will send a shoot an email. Please, the server is down. Please, may I know when it will be back. They shoots an email to which team? Operations team. So they should operations team should regularly monitor the servers and make sure that servers are running 24/7 with right performance, responding to outages, providing security, firewalls, ports, dealing with ports, version controlling, change control, backup and disaster recovery. They maintain disaster recovery sites. Synchronization happens to the DR site. These are all critical. These are all critical. Chetan, do you think these don't neglect this? These are very important. Without operations team, development team cannot progress not even one day. Development team becomes zero without operations team. Don't think that only developers are important.
Yes.
No, they are not. Operations team is also critical. Without operations team, development team cannot progress not even one day. They cannot deliver the project at all. Impossible. There should be strong coordination between the development team and the operations team so that you can deliver the projects at much smoother rate and much faster rate. Now I hope you got a visual concept of understanding what do you mean by an operations team. Visualizing development team is pretty simple. Development team, they come and start coding, that's fine. Now you know about the concept of operations team. Now the reason for the delay, as I told you in my previous slide, the reason for the delay is because of gap between two teams, development team and operations team. You may have a question. Yes, we have understood what is development team, so we can visualize. I can also visualize what is the operations team. What do you mean by gap? What do you mean by gap in the development team? Gap between development team and the operations team. I'll give a small scenario. understanding the gap between development team and operations team. Okay. As part of development work, development team needs Oracle database 18c version. To develop a project, they need both front-end and back-end, right? They need a database server. Development team needs Oracle database 18c version. It is whose responsibility to install Oracle database on a database server and link it to the web server. It is whose responsibility? It is operations team responsibility, not the development team responsibility. So development team will shoot an email to operations team saying that we need Oracle database 18c version so that we use this database instead of SQL Server. They thought of using SQL Server, now they have changed their mind to Oracle database. So this requirement will be given to which team? Obviously the operations team. Operations team sometimes gives these kind of replies. Operations team comes with these kind of replies. What will be the reasons for the delay? Look at this. Infrastructure is not available. Server, you need to have a server hardware, right? Server room should be available. Infrastructure is not available. Sajid, welcome. Anurag Sharma, welcome. Manas, welcome. Welcome to the latecomers. Please go through the video. Thank you, Krishan. Infrastructure is not available. Development team needs database. Infrastructure is not available. The operations team saying that we have not right now, we are not having the infrastructure. You may need a 25 GB RAM with some 4 processors, with some 2 TB of storage, which is not available. You need to give us some notice period. At least give us 15 days of notice period so that we can procure the infrastructure or manage the infrastructure. Infrastructure is not available. Or second reason, skilled resources are not available. Skilled resources are nothing but if you want to install Oracle database, you need an Oracle DBA guy, database administrator. Operations team says that we don't have Oracle database administrators right now. We have SQL Server DBS, but we don't have Oracle DBS. These kind of results, this kind of replies, you may get it from the operations team. Either the infrastructure is not available, skilled resources are not available, or they say that you need to give us a notice period, don't give us a neck of the moment requirements, don't give us ad hoc requirements. These kind of this kind of scenarios happens between development team and operations team, because of which finally what is happening? Finally this is happening what? Delay. Am I right? Because of which finally it's causing delay. Am I clear? Because of these scenarios, this one small scenario which I'm showing you, because of which there will be finally a delay in the software development process. So there is a gap between development team and operations team, because of which there is a delay in the software development comes. There comes the need for DevOps. Here comes the need for the DevOps. Generally, there will be two teams, as I told you, development team, operations team. Now, when a company implements DevOps methodology in SDLC, DevOps is a methodology which is used in SDLC. Then there will be three teams: development team, DevOps team, operations team. Are you understanding? When the companies implement DevOps methodology, you'll find three teams: development team, DevOps team, and operations team. We will be looking for this team: DevOps resources, DevOps engineers. Now, DevOps, and it is important. DevOps is a methodology. It's not a technology; it's a methodology that promotes collaboration between obviously the development team and operations team. This allows deployment of code to production faster and automated way. Automated. These days, you have seen, you may be heard about this. Automation is becoming a key in the IT industry. The technology which is driving behind automation is DevOps. It helps enable development, and it helps what DevOps enables: rapid development of projects or product. So finally, as a DevOps team, you need to build collaboration between development team and the operations team. So you will be filling that gap of development team and operations team. Coming to this scenario, when development team needs Oracle database infrastructure, and the operations team is not having the infrastructure nor the skill resources. What, as a DevOps engineer, what is your tool? What's your tool? What's your duty? Your duty is to provide an Oracle DB. Even though we don't know Oracle DB, but we can provide Oracle database infrastructure by using a tool called as Docker. You don't need to depend on operations team. If operations team is not responding, as a DevOps team, you can respond using a tool called Docker. You can create an Oracle database in just 2 minutes and provide the database credentials to the development team, so the development will start working with Oracle database. Are you understanding? You don't need an infrastructure. You don't need to learn Oracle DBA, but still, as a DevOps team, using a tool called Docker, you can create an Oracle database instance and provide the instance details to the development team, so the development team will connect to the database instance and start working with the development process. So what you have done as a DevOps team, you have eliminated the dependency, and there's no waiting time. You need to push both the teams, development team and operations team. And finally, what is helping? This is helping in faster delivering the projects to the client. Finally, this is helping in faster development, delivering the projects to the client. This is one small scenario which I'm showing you, importance of DevOps. So as it is speeding up, so let's say in waterfall model it is taking 2 months. If you use agile model, it is taking 8 months. In waterfall model, it is taking 2 years. Agile model, it is taking 8 months. With the DevOps, you can say they deliver the same projects in just 2 to 3 months. Same project. You can speed up the software development process at a very faster rate. DevOps is a methodology, as I told you, and that methodology can be implemented using tools. That methodology can be implemented using tools. So, as a DevOps engineer, you should collaborate 2 teams. You may have a doubt, so how do I collaborate? Collaboration happens using tools. We'll force the development team to use some tools. We'll force the operations team to use some tools. Tools are designed in such a way that it improves collaboration. Are you understanding? So final end result is delivering the project at a faster rate. That's the concept of DevOps. Clear about this? Any questions? Rahul, Sajid. Sajid, you're a little late. Go through the video and then catch up the concepts what you have missed. Kiran?
Sure, sir. I'll do it. And thank you, sir. And okay, fine, sir. If I have any doubts, I'll ask.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you understood, all of you have understood the importance of DevOps. DevOps is a methodology which is used in software development lifecycle, which helps in speeder development of projects and products by improving collaboration between development team and operations team. That's all. And it's collection of tools. How do you collaborate? You use tools. We'll force the development team to use some tools. We force the operations team to use some tools. So what are the tools which will be covered as part of our training? The word prerequisite. Manas, the prerequisite to learn DevOps is Linux. Because we'll perform configurations on all the DevOps tools using Linux commands. And we don't need to learn in depth of Linux administration. Basics of Linux is more than enough. So the prerequisite is basics of Linux. So we start with Linux first. Git, which is a version controlling tool, and source code management tool. We ask the development team to use Git to manage their source code. Maven, which is a builder tool, which is used to build an artifact. We'll be using Maven. Jenkins, deployment tool. Generally, the development team will deploy manually into Tomcat or WebLogic or WebSphere. No, in case of DevOps, we'll ask them to use this tool called as Jenkins. We'll be learning how to use Jenkins too. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool, continuous integration, continuous delivery. This is the tool behind automation, very important tool. Docker, infrastructure provisioning tool. It's also called as containerization tool, using which we can provide the infrastructure to the development team. without waiting for the operations team response. Kubernetes, container orchestration tool, we learn Kubernetes also. Ansible, configuration management tool, highly used, especially with the operations team. Highly successful tool. Saves a lot of time and manpower. Nagios, a monitoring tool, where you can monitor hundreds of servers at once in a single dashboard. So these are the tools which are covered as part of our training course.
One thing. So
1,
is
2,
dynamic
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 minute, one after the other. One after the other. Starting with Ramesh. Yes, please.
So is this Nagios is similar to Dynatrace? The tool?
Nagios is similar to CloudWatch.
Okay, sure. CloudWatch, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We work on. So actually, for sure, why not extract for this
So
also?
nowadays even I
Getting a
was
background
really
noise. 1 minute.
so I think one more guy talking. I think these days we are a lot of hearing this tool Dynatrace also.
She's covering. She's
Which tool? Could you please send it in the chat box, Ramesh?
Yeah, Dynatrace.
Yeah, there are a lot of tools adding up in the current market. So what I have done, I have picked up the tools. There are a lot of tools in DevOps. There are approximately 30 tools in DevOps. But we don't need to learn all the 30 tools. Okay, I have picked up the important tools which are currently in demand in the market, and then I have prepared the course content. This is how the course content looks like.
yeah. I think
Session starts at 9 a.m. and it will be 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Monday morning IST, Monday morning to Friday morning. As per US, it will be Sunday evening. Starts at Sunday evening to Thursday evening, probably. I think so. Yes, Krishna.
Hello.
Any questions, Krishna?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you can hear you.
Yeah. I'm saying, sir, like how we can cover the whole entire course in 45 days, even we are taking just 1 hour in it.
It's
So
not
will it be
45 days.
possible?
It will definitely for 2 months approximately.
Okay. So 60 hours, right?
60 hours. Yes, you are right. 45 days is difficult. 60 hours it will take.
And one
Maybe
more
less
doubt I
than
have,
60
sir.
hours. Less than 60 hours. Not more than 60. Yes,
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah, I'm like saying that for scripting, which will be the better, the shell scripting or the Python? Because
I recommend Python.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
one more point. All these tools are DevOps tools. We'll be learning on AWS environment. That's very, very important. That's the reason the title of this course is DevOps with AWS. Okay, because you can learn all these tools on our personal laptops. Isn't it? We can install Jenkins, we can install Ansible, everything we can install it on our personal laptops on standalone machines and we can run it. But definitely right now, every client who are using DevOps are definitely moved to cloud. So it gains importance only when you have cloud experience. So I know a few of you may have already working exposure with cloud like AWS or Azure. If you are not having an exposure, not a problem. All these tools we'll configure, we'll install ourselves and then we'll configure it on which platform? AWS. Okay. So because at the end of the course, you can also put your AWS skill set in your resume. And one more point. You may have a doubt. How much part of AWS we are learning as part of DevOps? This is a DevOps course. The focus is on DevOps tools, and to an extent required for AWS services that will be covered as part of DevOps course. Okay, not in depth of DevOps and not in depth of AWS. Maybe 20% to 25% of AWS will be covering, which are required for DevOps professionals. Not more than that. Okay, if you're looking for core AWS, this is not the right course. This is core DevOps, and that AWS will be covered 20 to 25% to an extent which is required for DevOps engineer. I hope I am very clear about the target audience. Okay, clear? And any questions?
Yes, sir. I have so many questions.
Krishna.
Yes, sir. I'm saying that again. Like, do we get the course material like PDF something or recorded video? Even
see, every day we'll be using some notes. I have some materials. Once once the registration is done, I get all your email IDs. Every day's notes, I'll be sending you an email ID to your email IDs. Okay, every session is recorded, as well as we also send you the material. Okay.
Okay. So that material will be of a unlimited period of time, or just 2
I will
months?
send you an email attachment. You can download it. Okay, that's
Okay.
not a problem. Okay. So more than that, you need to focus, because DevOps, as I told you, it takes 2 months. Okay, it's a wide course, extensive course. So you need to focus and then properly practice whatever we are learning. Get the best of the training. Okay. Any questions more?
Yes, sir. I have a question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes. And sir, actually, see, as you said, it's DevOps with AWS course. So
You are
if
right.
I attend this course, will I be able to learn AWS also, or do I have to learn it separately?
You need to learn separately, because
Okay.
this course is focused on DevOps tools.
Okay.
Okay.
And one more thing,
And
sir.
only 20% of the DevOps will be covered. 20% of AWS part is covered.
Okay, and if I attend this 20% of AWS and study myself, will that be easier for me to understand the
Definitely,
AWS?
it will help you to learn yourself. Okay. If you,
Okay,
there are many people who are learning themselves cloud is pretty easy, in fact. Okay,
okay, and
so you will in this training, Sajid, you get the DevOps tools. 20% of the AWS concepts you will get it. Okay, using the
okay,
20%, you can learn yourself and explore your knowledge on AWS, or you can undergo core AWS training also. Okay, I trained
okay,
both
and
DevOps course.
one
I
last
trained
thing,
with the
sir.
core AWS course. Yes.
Yes, and as you said, DevOps works on the tools, and you gave some list of some few tools,
Yes.
and I want to know how many. As you said, there are 30 tools. So how will I be able to learn all the tools?
Learning all the tools is not the right approach. Every third party, anybody can develop a DevOps tool. As a third party organization, they can develop the DevOps tool. If I'm maintaining a software company, I can also create a DevOps tool.
Okay,
Okay,
and
so
what is the use of these
learning
tools?
learning all the tools is not the right process. Okay,
Okay.
because for example, Tajid,
Yes,
look
sir.
at this Ansible. Have you look at this? There's a tool called Ansible. Ansible is a
Yes.
configuration management tool. Similar to
Hmm.
Ansible, we have one more tool called Chef.
Okay.
So whatever Ansible can do, Chef also can do.
Hmm.
So there are approximately 7 to 8 configuration management tools.
Hmm.
What one tool can do, rest of that same thing can also be done by other configuration management tools. So there are approximately 7 to 8 configuration management tools. Because there are 7 to 8 configuration management tools, learning all the configuration management tools is not the right approach. Am I right, Sajid? Learn one. The most widely used popular configuration tool is Ansible. That's the reason I have picked up this one tool from the configuration management.
Okay, and sir,
There are a
what
lot of
is the use of
CI/CD.
all these
There are
tools?
5 to 6 CI/CD tools, out of which Jenkins is one tool which I have picked up because it's popular. I have picked up the popular tools in every category and designed the content.
And what is the use
Okay.
of these tools?
Sorry.
What is the use of these tools?
Finally, all the tools helps in collaborating development team and operations team, helps in faster delivery of the projects to the client.
Okay, I understand.
That's the
Okay, sir.
final objective.
Yes, this is the first
Okay.
class, and it is not
Okay.
okay for me to ask so many questions.
No
So if
problem.
I have something, I would like
You
to
are
ask.
welcome. So
Thank you.
finally helps in collaborating two tools and delivering the project at faster rate.
Okay, sir.
Finally done. That's the objective of DevOps.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And
And
because
sir,
of this, yes, yes,
how
sir.
could I access the complete video that I missed today?
You need to check with management. Okay. So I think you have joined a little late. Check with the
Yes.
management and then take the video and then go through it. I think this video is also uploaded in the YouTube. I'm not sure about that. Once it is uploaded, you can also go through the YouTube link. Okay.
Okay,
Check with the management. Okay.
sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sajad. You're from which location, Sajad?
Sir, I'm from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay. What's
And
your
where is this
experience?
training going on, sir?
May I know your experience?
Yes, sir. I worked with so many different MNCs for a longer period. Now I want to, uh,
Move to
I'm
move to
moreover
DevOps.
interested in AWS and DevOps, so I've joined this
Okay.
course.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm sure
Thank
you
you.
will enjoy this training.
Thank you, sir. And sir, could you please tell me what I was asking? I didn't remember. Okay, sir,
Yes,
I'll
please.
go to the video, and if I have
Yeah,
something, I'll get
yeah,
back to you. Thank you.
sure. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So that's it for today's session. What we have planned, I have planned for introduction to DevOps. Now, in this session, you got to know what exactly DevOps do. Look at this, and I just want to tell you how exactly DevOps is doing in the current IT industry. So, DevOps trends in the year 2005. See, enterprises not only showing interest on DevOps, but gradually adopting DevOps technologies. So that are adopting DevOps methodology in their SDLC systems. According to a search study, DevOps has already generated 2.9 billion in the year 2017, and it's going to be the mainstream in the year 2020. The DevOps market is growing. It from 2.9, it will reach to 6.6 billions in the year 2022. So because see, many companies are fully embraced on fully implementing DevOps methodology. Number of companies who are implementing DevOps are growing. When there are more companies who are implementing DevOps in their methodology, you need more number of DevOps resources, isn't it? You need more number of skilled DevOps teams. Okay, so automation becomes a trend in future. So please go through this. Okay, so you have a lot of articles which helps you how exactly DevOps is moving the IT industry and how DevOps will be in demand in future. It's one of the latest tools in the current market: artificial intelligence, machine learning, DevOps, AngularJS, Stack. So these are all latest technologies. Learn the latest technology, capture the market.
Hello, sir. Just one
Yes.
question. What is the best email ID that I can reach you?
I'll send you, not today, once you get registered, Balram, I'll send you this.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is what I have for plan for today's session. See tomorrow, what's our plan for tomorrow? The prerequisite for DevOps, as I told you, is Linux. The prerequisite for DevOps is Linux. So we'll be starting with Linux. Okay, so we'll be starting with Linux commands. 3 days we'll be spending on Linux, and then right from the 4th day we'll be jumping into the first tool of DevOps, that is called as Git. And Linux also will not, we'll be creating a Linux machine on AWS platform, and then we'll be practicing AWS Linux on AWS. So you'll also have exposure towards participants who are having no exposure towards AWS. So you'll also have exposure towards AWS in tomorrow's session. Okay. So tomorrow is all about exposure towards AWS and starting with Linux. That's our plan for tomorrow's session. So as usual, please join at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. More information, talk to management. Thank you, Akanksh, Balram, Kiran.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Krishna, Rajat. Thank you, one and all. Bye bye.
One more question, sir. Are you still
Yes,
here?
please.
Do you know like any websites that I could like that are like I can find on the internet to learn Linux?
To learn Linux.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Go to W3 schools.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice time. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.